Hello, I'm just going to do a quick Natural Selection 2 sort of commander tutorial for all these new players picking up the game after this free weekend and half price promotion that they're doing. There's lots of new players coming into the game and it looks like they're enjoying themselves, but they don't really seem to know what they're doing, so I'm going to try and explain some of the basic tactics in the game. A bit of a disclaimer, I'm not very good at this game, so take everything I say with a pinch of salt. First thing you can do when you get into the game is click on Training and go to Explore mode and just click Explore, and it will bring you into a game on your own where you can play around in the command chair, place buildings, learn where everything is. There's helpful little bits of information that pop up on the screen when you look at the different buildings that tell you what they do. But I think there's already quite a few tutorials on that on YouTube, and today I wanted to talk more specifically about the different tactics that you might use during a game. So this is what setup will actually look like when you start a game. You'll have a command station, one infantry portal and one resource tower or extractor. And when you jump in the chair, once both teams have a commander, the game will start. And you will spawn on this map. You can spawn in any location on the map apart from crossroads, so you could spawn flight control, atrium, data core or sub-axis. This time I've started at sub-axis. The first thing you'll want to build will be an armory. These tabs here you can select, that's QWE, and then any of these will be, that's A, S, D, F, and that is Z and X. So if you want to build an armory, you press Q, F, and then you can click on the map and place that down. This is the first thing you want to place, and you want to place it somewhere right in the middle of your base. So Q, F, bam, straight down. Very first thing you want to do. Now your Marines by this point should be running around the map trying to find out where the alien spawn is. It's pretty common to place a second infantry portal down straight away as well. So stick your second infantry portal down. Next job will be, under the advanced buildings tab, an observatory. You have to have an armory before you can build an observatory. And if you think the alien base is over on this side of the map, you might want to stick the observatory over here. The observatory will draw a little circle on the Marine's heads-up display if it detects movement. So it's usually a good idea to place it slightly towards whichever direction aliens are coming from, so you can detect them through the wall, or to try and hide it in your base somewhere where they can't destroy it. So you might stick it behind the command chair or in a corner or something. I'm just going to stick mine right in the middle of the base somewhere there. Okay, I guess by this point in the game your Marines will know where that alien hive is, and they'll be fighting. There'll be Marines spread out all across the map. Some of them might be stood next to empty resource nodes. If they're stood next to an empty resource node that's far away from the alien base, it's a good idea just to drop it for them. That would be Q and then S to build one of those. And it needs to be constructed for a whole minute for it to pay for itself. They only cost 10 resources, but they collect 10 resources per minute. So as long as it's alive for more than 1 minute, you've made a gain in resources from building. One of the earliest things that you want to develop is this, phase tech. Get this as soon as possible. So you want armory that allows you to build the observatory, and then the observatory that allows you to research phase tech, and then the phase tech that will allow you to build once it's finished researching. Because I'm in explore mode, I can already build it, but normally this would be grayed out. Once that's done,
research complete.
Research complete. Now we can build phase gates. So stick one phase gate in the middle of your base, and you want your Marines by this point to have secured an area. Let's say the alien spawned in flight control, for example. I would want by this point my Marines to have maybe 2 or 3 Marines to be in data core. But if there were Marines in here that had secured it, I would want them to build a phase gate in here. So now we have a phase gate in data core and a phase gate in sub-access, and we can very rapidly move between them. If data core comes under threat, we can phase straight there. and if sub-access comes under threat, we can phase straight back again. And now you can use this as a pushing point to do damage to ventilation or glass or whatever. This is the most fundamental point in the game. The Marines are slow moving around the map, much slower than the aliens, so in order to secure an area, they need to have a phase gate in that area. And they need to secure tech points in order to be able to build more advanced weapons, such as exosuits and jetpacks. At this point in the game, it's totally up to you what you want to do. You might put some pressure on the flight control, you might try and expand into Atrium. It's a good idea to get Crossroads. Crossroads is a really important one to hold because you can push pretty much anywhere on the map from Crossroads. So trying to get some Marines to sneak into Crossroads, putting a phase gate up in there. Yeah, there we go. Put a phase gate up in there. Put an armory. If you want like a forward attack base, you'd stick an armory up there, and that will give the Marines armor and health and ammunition that they can use to defend an area, as well as a phase gate. So now if we got a phase gate here, here and here, if any of these places come under attack, we can be at all three instantaneously. If Marines start wandering off into random directions, it's not so possible. If the aliens have spawned in flight and the Marines have spawned in sub-access, there's going to be a huge fight in Computer Lab. And for the most part, you just want a few Marines to keep poking at them to stop them walking straight into sub-access, but at the same time you don't want to spend all of your Marines into Computer Lab, because then the aliens will just sneak around and capture the rest of the map, and then they'll get onoses and you'll die. Whereas if you hold Crossroads and Data Core, you can then drop... I can't drop anything because there's alien infestation everywhere. You can then drop your command station, a second command station, and if you drop a second command station, you can then... which way around is it? You need to upgrade to advanced armory, and then you can drop the prototype lab, and then once you've got a prototype lab, you can research jetpacks and exosuits. When you make an expansion into another area, it's a really good idea to get mines and or welders. If you research mines, Marines can buy the mines, and they can stick the mines right in the little corners under the phase gate. So if an alien sneaks in and tries to attack a phase gate, which is quite possible when you're doing your expansion, the skulk will get blown up by the mine. And similarly, you'll need welders, because if anything takes damage, you'll want to weld it back up again, so you can defend effectively.
Research complete.
And one thing I've forgotten to mention so far is Arms Lab. This is really important as well. If you've got a few spare resources, stick an Arms Lab down, hide it somewhere in your base so the aliens can't kill it. And then the Arms Lab allows you to get weapons upgrades. You do 10% extra damage, 20% extra damage, 30% extra damage. They're quite expensive, but Weapons 1 and Armor 1 are really important to get early on in the game, especially if the aliens start developing Carapace or Celerity. And then finally there's the Robotics Factory, which is a bit more for advanced techniques. This allows you to build arcs, which are siege weapons, and mechs, which are like little robotic welders. Mechs can be useful for defending your base. You can just stick a few mechs in. If an alien damages some of your base, the mech will weld it up. Mechs can also weld exosuits, so if a Marine buys an exosuit upgrade, send a mech to follow him around and keep him welded. Arcs... Well, to build arcs you need to upgrade to Arc Factory first, and then you can build arcs. They're 15 resources each, you'll need quite a few of them, and they can shoot through walls, so... I wonder if there's a good example on this map. Yeah, possibly here. If the aliens held the Crossroads Hive, and the Marines had Data Core, they might be able to move the arcs through here, deploy them here, and then they would shoot through this wall and hit the hive. And as long as you had enough Marines defending them, they could take down the hive quite easily. And that's quite an advanced tactic. You need a lot of team coordination to defend the arcs and move them through. and you need a lot of resources to build the arcs as well, but it's really awesome when it works. I think that's all I've got to say for now. You can research grenade launchers and flamethrowers, but they're not really that useful unless you're in late game. Grenade launchers are good if there's a gorge who's building lots of clogs and giving you a hassle. Flamethrowers kill off infestation really quickly. Shotguns are important if you are fighting against fades, so you can research your shotguns at your armory. And Marines can buy those whenever they want. You can also drop weapons if you've got lots of resources. So I can drop a shotgun. I can even drop an exosuit as well, but that's really expensive. It costs 50 resources. And there's other things in here. These are the assist things, okay? So that's under the E tab. So you press E, and then A will drop an ammo pack. D will drop a med pack. F will drop a nano shield, which basically shields your marine from 50% of damage. So if there's someone, it's really important that he stays alive, you press F and then click on the marine, and it will shield him from 50% of damage. And the last one here is scan area. So if you have an observatory up, you need an observatory to do scan area, you can press E and then F, and then let's say I wanted to know what was an atrium. I click and it scans atrium. Now I can see inside the hive and see what's going on. I can do that again at data core. Yeah, there's aliens here. Crossroads. Aliens here. Aliens everywhere on this map. Nothing here, okay. But it also reveals all of the alien life forms, and Marines will be able to see them through walls. They'll appear as little circles. So you see as little circles as they disappeared there. These little circles. And Marines will be able to see those little circles through walls, so they know there's lots of stuff in here. And that's especially useful if aliens are using cloaking, if they've got camouflage or shade hives or something, or you think there might be a drifter around. You go boom, scan. Is there anything there? No, it's fine. Is there something here? Yeah, there's a hive and some eggs, but nothing else. And that's really useful information for your team. And then when they're pushing, you drop some medpacks for them, some ammo for them, and they can push through. And that's about all there is to it. Yeah, just to reiterate, these getting phase gates in key locations and defending those phase gates effectively by staying close to phase gates, phasing to the different areas, holding. You only need 2 tech points to get exosuits. Holding until you get exosuits, harassing the alien resource towers, and just defending your expansions. You should be able to win. And sticking together and helping each other out. The exosuits can't do anything other than shoot. That's all they can do. They can't use phase gates. They can't weld. They can't build things. And they can't get in the command chair. So don't let the entire team go exosuits. Maybe 2 or 3, and then back them up with 1 or 2 people with welders and jetpacks who can keep them alive as they push through, and then just sticking together and just pushing through, doing huge amount of damage. You'll be unstoppable. Alright, I think I'll do another video about aliens in a minute, but that is all for now. Have fun!